Once again, waiting on what's going on in there.
It's good. Looks like we're
Tuesday
getting
night,
some
Twice the Advice,
sound.
doing what we do. Glad to have you with us. So happy, so happy to see you guys
Back
here
at
with
it
us again. Okay, so
Don't like your boo. I love her, and I love you guys' relationship. Really inspiring. I have no idea who that is.
That's Quay.
Okay, cool.
That's Quay. Hey, Patty Quay. All right. So anyway,
Patty Quay.
Listen.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in.
Tuesday night, Twice the Advice. Here we go. Here we are.
All right.
What's up?
All right, cool. What's up? All right, boom. Now we're ready. So who are you?
I'm Boo. I'm Bae.
No, I'm Bae. You Boo.
Okay. All right. What up, great people? It's your boy AD.
Hey, your girl D. Gay.
And then I'm Bae, and this Boo.
No, I'm Bae. You're Boo. Anyway.
Either way it goes.
What's tonight's topic?
Why you don't like Bae? Why you don't like my boo?
Why you don't like my boo?
But it ain't you that don't like my boo. It's oh, that's my girl Dula. What's happening? It's not you that don't like boo. It's other people that really don't matter. So we are gonna talk about tonight, man, the importance, man, and the effects of family not approving of your spouse.
Period.
Partner.
Yeah.
Relationship.
Significant other. All of that.
All right. Okay. And
who first? You first.
I don't care. I don't give a damn. I don't give a shit though. Don't give a shit. Listen, man. When we first got together, right? There were so many people that were against us dealing with each other. There were so many people that had opinions. With all due respect, opinions are like assholes. Mm-hmm. Everyone has one, and they usually stink.
I was gonna say, and they ain't worth the shit.
That too.
Okay.
But most definitely, what I did come to realize, right, is a lot of the people that were looking into our situation, into our relationship, and had so much to say about it, they had so little going on with themselves personally.
Yeah, now that we look back at it.
Okay, all right, cool. So it seemed to me there was a lot of family that had a lot of opinions, even when it came down to what they did come to be disclosed to about me. They got even more opinionated, and then they became not narrators, but let's just say they wrote novels. Because they
boy, some stories, ain't it?
Man, I done been everything, including other people's baby daddies. So when it's all said and done, we have to just kind of love who we have to be in love with. A lot of folks don't want to see you happy.
Correct.
You will get so many people that will dislike you because you exceed and supersede their expectations of you. So when you get somebody and you become somebody's somebody,
okay,
that is definitely a circumstance that will bring about a lot of naysayers, a lot of gossip, a lot of opinions,
and of course the twins. Don't forget the twins.
Jealousy and envy.
Correct, because they come together. Right. A lot of the times it happens without people even recognizing. But I will say this: when the topic came about, I won't even say where it came from, but people who care about you have and will express their feelings about the people that you choose to be with, because they're going to base that on what they perceive your relationship to be and what they feel like you should have, receive, and accept from other people.
But how do you take advice like that from someone that may not have someone? I remember someone saying to you that half a broom was better than no broom at all.
Do you remember my response?
I think you said to them that you didn't want half a broom.
That ain't what I said. You know, I got away with words.
Elaborate, please.
My response was, I'm not talking about sweeping floors. I'm talking about my life.
Ooh,
that was my response. I'm not talking about sweeping floors. I'm talking about my life.
I know that's right.
So that was
What's
my
up,
initial
cuz?
response to that particular statement. And I've kind of maintained that same mentality. Over the years, it's kind of been somewhat of a seesaw. And I can now take accountability for a lot of how that worked out that way. To say, you know, some of the reasons why people would have such a strong opinion was because the only thing that they did hear about what it was that we were going through was the negative.
I think that you're absolutely right.
Okay.
But it's also something that we have to be very mindful of.
What else, cousin?
That we do not express certain things to certain people.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly family. I remember my mom saying to me, I would call my mom and I'm telling them like, man, this and the third, man, and she done been doing this, and after all this cheating and this, that, and that, and I've been doing this after this, that, and the third, and how I'm feeling and such. And my mom said, baby, listen to me. I love you. And you can talk to me. I don't want you to feel like you can't talk to me, but you better off talking to your wife. Because there are certain things that you are going to say to me that you can't erase. There are certain things that you are going to say to me that I'd rather you not say, because regardless of what it is that you may be feeling right now, this is just an emotion. Mm-hmm. And those change. Mm-hmm. Once you say these things, you turn around and you expect me to look at my daughter-in-law
and feel the
same way, or not feel a way after you've said this, that, or the other. Mm-hmm. So I'm just keeping it real, y'all. You understand what I'm saying? Because let me tell you something. My mama, shout out to Miss Shawty. You hear me? My mama is as real as it's gonna get, and I'm so grateful for her being that kind of person, even in which what she said to us, things that we didn't expect.
No. She said a little something to me earlier this year, and it floored me. And I was like, don't say that. Why would you say? I'm like, why would you say such a thing?
But you need to be able to have people that are willing to pour into your relationship.
Yeah,
rather than to pull out of your relationship.
Yeah, rather than taking away from it. I think it's super essential for any relationship for you to have people that help you to focus on the positive that is in it. My husband and I both individually have friends that come to us with relationship things, right? And one thing that I can say that is consistent between the two of us is it doesn't matter who's coming to us and about what. If there's positive in it, we're going to definitely pull that out.
We want it.
Yeah, we're going to definitely pull that out. Sometimes you may get a little check mark because it's like, nah. You ain't right this time. You know, you might have been able to go about that in a different fashion or things of that nature. But one of the things that we have learned is the value of keeping our shit to ourselves.
Oh yeah, most definitely. A large part in that was my wife teaching me something that her grandmother told her, and that was keeping your name out of the news. The less that they know, the better you are. I actually give a whole lot of respect to my brother-in-law, because in spite of his circumstances with his wife, whether they were happy or they were unhappy, you would never know. They were the same people in every action. Every single time interaction that I got them. Shout out to the lovely Machina Gibson and my big bro Doug, and I love you guys. They the ones that have set the bar. You get what I'm saying? They have really set the standard when it comes down to this marriage thing, and we got some big shoes to fill. So I look at it and I see where a lot of times things may not be okay. Things may not be on the up and up, but you need to have that discretion and the respect of your relationship to not disclose everything to everyone. Just like they say, every smile ain't a smile, and every friend ain't a friend. You have to know that every person that you talk to
ain't got no good intent for you.
Are not listening ears, but itching ears. Sometimes people are listening for them to be able to run and talk about.
Tell me that.
So, man, this relationship thing is not easy. But if you want something, people grow to glow. Mm-hmm. And then there are times where people grow apart. Mm-hmm. So use your discretion. Get an understanding and get that understanding clear between the two of you. Because no one else needs to know. No one else needs to approve of it. No one else needs to understand it. Mm-hmm. And when
nobody else has to like it.
Factual.
Nobody else has to like it.
There you go.
And I have come to find that if it bothers you that other people don't like your relationship,
then you may not be in that relationship for the right purposes.
You may not actually be super confident in the relationship.
Come on.
There were times when my husband's family didn't like me, my family didn't like him, and we were so unbothered.
And we were still doing everything that we do so well and not.
We were so unbothered. Like, I would go to him and be like, I really don't think your family likes me. He's like, yeah, who cares? And then he'd come to me and he'd be like, I really don't think your family likes me. I'm like, who cares? Who cares? We were totally head over heels. And even in the midst of all of our stuff where we've kind of gone back and forth and felt like we might have been growing apart. And mm-hmm. we both have gotten kind of like what you would consider to be like not the most positive advice from family, right? You know, he's had one or two people in his family. I've had one or two people in my family who was like, leave it alone, drop it, don't bother with it, wash your hands. You tried, it didn't work out.
Man, they all the same, bruh. Get out. Long as you there, it's gonna be this, it's gonna be that. Yeah. Don't look at it the same way.
Yeah.
I'm not done with you yet. You know what I'm saying? I'm not leaving that up to somebody else. I'm not leaving my happiness in the faith of someone else.
Yeah.
I am not going to let someone else have so much of an impact on how I treat you, how I value you, mm-hmm. or even how I view you. Mm-hmm. You will be the person that determines that. Mm-hmm. And if we can go through all of the sugar honey iced tea that we've been through and we still look at each other and smile.
Period.
You understand what I'm saying? I don't give a damn about who's frowning.
I just want to touch on this. We have a comment over here that says, I care because I wouldn't want my family to treat my significant other funny or feel uncomfortable. And I do completely understand because that was a thing.
It's gonna happen
for a particular point in time. But I'm just gonna say this. The best thing that could have happened to me was being courageous.
Thank you, Lynette.
Being courageous enough to leave home with my significant other.
Mm-hmm.
There's been times where he's had to do certain things on his own and I've had to do certain things on my own, but we've been in this relationship together every step of the way, good, bad, ugly, and indifferent. And there's even been times in the midst of us being in it together where he felt like he was carrying it all on his own. I felt like I was carrying it all on my own. And it's been frustrating. But the best part of us moving away was it taught us
to depend on each other. Yeah.
It taught us to depend on us, and that strengthened our care less for what people had to say. Hey,
what's up, Auntie?
It strengthened our care less for people who didn't care or support our relationship.
In relationships, building bridges and building bonds take the same type of effort.
Mm-hmm.
But they serve two different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
They serve two different purposes.
Mm-hmm.
What up, little bro? Thanks for tuning in, man. Thank you so much for tuning in. But when you are building these bonds, the bond between two people, man, should become, undeniable. And the two of you want to become inseparable. But you have to want that. You have to be determined at that. You have to commit to that person to that greater good for the sake of the bond, so that you can build a bridge over your emotions, over your insecurities, over the infidelity, over the childish antics. You have to get beyond all of that. That's why a lot of people don't understand. I always emphasize on her giving me the opportunity to grow up. Sometimes you just gotta let a motherfucker grow up. You gotta let them fuck shit up so good until they finally figure out how good it feels to get it right.
And I will say this, one of the things that I don't say enough is a lot of people have no idea how much I took my husband through.
Facts.
A lot of people have no idea how much I took my husband through. A lot of what I took him through was not his. I just had a conversation yesterday with my best friend, and I was explaining to her that for probably about a good 2 years, I was really just in a sunken place. Like, we can call it that now, because now we've got a name to put it. You know, when you go into that really dark realm in your life and you're kind of lost, you know, and you don't really know how to get out. Like, you can see the light somewhere.
That's that Kanye Gemini in her. Yep, I said it. Love you. Come on, cuz. You call your cuz.
Punch him in the ear, y'all. Y'all ain't hear that. Let me bleep that part out. In either case, you know, you something that you could call it now, but it really is a thing. And when I was in that deep, dark place, I didn't even realize how far out there I was. And it is because he was able, what up, Rita, girl, long time no see.
Facts.
It is because he was willing to forgive me. And I paid for that forgiveness. Yeah. I put in a lot of work to try to get that forgiveness, but he was willing to forgive me. Whereas a lot of people, they don't even want to, it's like, nah, forget it. You know, it's a wrap. I don't want nothing to do with it. And that for me spoke volumes for who he was in character, because he was willing to forgive me.
I am not an easy person to deal with. And I'm still a work in progress. So even with me growing and maturing day by day, I still will cuss your ass out, and I will tell you exactly how I feel. I do not withhold any punches. Grown folks, old folks, black folks, white folks, Latinos, and even potential aliens. I will give it to you raw. And when me and my wife got together, and many people didn't approve of me, I told her, just don't tell her my name. Don't Google my name. And we made it. We made it through. You know what I'm saying? Like, we made being broke, being broken, being hurt as people, as individuals, look good. And we got a lot of animosity from every corner because of that, because we didn't have any water at one point. And we were just as fucking happy as if you would think we had won $1 million scratch off. Cabinets were empty. You know what I'm saying? For a long time. Like, this is not a game. You feel me? This is real. You understand? And if you know us, then you know. I was taking risk every day. You feel me? Throwing rocks at the chain gang and praying not to go. And we were happy. We decided that we were going to share whatever happiness we had within us as individuals. We were going to share that together. And it was something about these children. I thank God for my babies every day, man, because
every single one of them.
They look to us as heroes, but they saved our lives.
I ain't lying, on too many occasions.
And I don't want to get off track, and I don't want to give anybody the impression that when children are involved, that you hold on to something that is no good for you.
Come on now.
But if you know You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
That the potential that you are falling in love with in a person has the ability to manifest if you are capable of praying it through, warring it out. I'm talking about, man, y'all
Baby,
don't
let me
know.
tell you
You understand
something.
what I'm
Okay,
saying?
let me have a quick moment.
Come on. Come on.
Ooh, child. Let me wipe this off me real quick. Okay, so there was a time while he was growing up, you know, he needed some time to grow up. And he was raising all kinds of sin. He was raising sin. He was raising sin. He was raising sin. And like I would always say to him, and he never understood what I meant by that, but I would always say to him, you know, you be giving me your ass to kiss.
And then I started literally giving her my ass to kiss.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
And I would say that not to be so literal, but he would just do things that it wasn't beneficial to our household. You know what I'm saying? It really wasn't even beneficial to him. So it was a struggle. It was a struggle. It was hard. It was difficult.
It was just something to do.
And it was hard because it was like, but why? Oh my gosh. And I will never forget. I don't remember what happened, but we were going through it, baby. And I would go in my war room. I always tell this man, he has no idea how I prayed for him. He has no idea how I prayed for him, how many sleepless nights that I would have, you know, after he was, you know, through dealing is what we're going to call it, and laid out across the bed and tired. And I would just pray for him, over him. And there was one particular time that, I mean, we had gotten into a pretty bad verbal argument. And he laid on the couch in the den. I went in my war room and I started praying and pressing, and I was like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna get this spirit up out of here." I went and got the oil.
Yep.
And touched his forehead.
Yeah. Yeah.
And opened the door to my house and was like, "You can get out. Wherever it came from,
take it back.
You can go."
Yeah.
Because I don't want no more of this in my house. I don't want no more of this confusion in my relationship. I'm done. I don't want. And he thought that I was really losing my mind because he couldn't necessarily see what it was that he was putting out. And I've learned along the years that you don't know what it is that you're putting out because you're not the person receiving it.
Come on. Say that again.
Okay.
Say that again.
One more time for the people in the back.
Please say that again. It's so important.
You don't know what it is that you're doing because you're not the person that's receiving it. It's not until you're on the receiving end of what you're putting out do you realize and recognize, damn I probably shouldn't have been doing that.
Yeah, I could have chilled on
that. I could have sat back on that one. And it's because it has to be relative. And so I've learned to really, really, really be mindful of that throughout the course of my relationship. I'm still learning, I'm still growing, and I'm still changing, and I'm still altering because, again, I'm not the person that's receiving what it is that I'm putting out. So I'm learning to accept wholeheartedly and listen with my inner ear, not my outer ear, when he's telling me that he's uncomfortable with what's being said, or he didn't appreciate something that was done, or things of that nature. And I'm learning to adapt to that. But I will say this, and I don't know, it was kind of put on my heart for me to say, I want to make sure that no one anywhere is accepting something, or as we like to call it, settling for something that is no good for them.
Come on.
Right? So I'll ask the question. Your last real relationship prior to me, at one point, you probably felt like that was going to be forever for you.
I felt like that was the all be all. But keeping it real, as men, we cannot take what we dish. Oftentimes, we cannot take what we dish. And when I came to realize it,
I got you, Keish.
It was because I was really just kind of like everywhere doing everything, and I was doing everything. Like I was doing everything. I was the babysitter. I was the hustler. I was the entrepreneur. I was the cook. I did the cleaning, and then I did the hoeing, and I did I did it all. I did it, and I was busy doing so much. And then when I came to realize that there was so much that wasn't being done, and so many needs that weren't being met for me, because She was doing the shit 2 times and 3 times, only better. She was doing that shit somewhere else. She was at somebody else's house with their family cooking. She was with somebody else doing some shit that she had no business. Call it lewd and lascivious, call it hoish and, inquisitive. She was doing it. And she was damn good at it. And it hurt me.
Now,
but then it didn't hurt me.
Now watch this. That relationship stuck with family for so long that it was years into our relationship before your family accepted me, like genuinely accepted
that relationship. That relationship had such an effect on my family too. There's some family I still don't talk to because of that relationship, in their opinion. I don't give a damn who you like. I don't give a damn what you like. If you like it so much, you date it. I don't mind.
I'm just saying that to say that without them knowing or realizing or recognizing what it was that you were enduring in the course of that relationship, they thought that was the person for you.
Because from the previous relationship before her, I did what bitch ass niggas do. I bleached clothes. I talked about her. I mind you, I was still very young, but I'm gonna keep it all the way. Hey, listen, I'm gonna keep it all the way 100 with you. I'll keep it all the way.
You was all of what, 19?
I was 19.
You was a baby, so
yeah,
it's okay.
I was 19.
I was
19, and I did some very malicious, nasty, bitch nigga things.
But wait,
ending that relationship because of how it ended.
But you were still very young. And so let's not take away from the fact that maturity plays a big role in how the outcome of a relationship goes.
No doubt. What you get from, but oftentimes, don't get it misconstrued. A lot of times what you will get from a man is his lack of maturity and accountability. Okay.
And it takes the right person to be able to help that person grow up. When I first met this man, someone who still does not speak to me and his family right now, to this day, has not looked me in my face one day since I said the same comment to them.
Shout out Aunt Trisha.
Shut up! You're so petty.
She's still by herself.
Whatever. I didn't say that. So let the record show that I didn't say that. Okay.
I did.
Anyway, my comment to this person was, a man is only as strong as a woman that supports him. So if the man that you are with is not becoming of much, then as the woman in the situation, you may have to take a better look at yourself.
Well, let me emphasize on something that you said a little bit earlier. You said that you prayed for me.
Yes.
Now, I didn't pray for you. I did not. I wanted something that was going to be significant to me. And I knew that because after breaking up with my ex and my children leaving my home and things, and second house that I left fully furnished and everything still in there on and all of that. I literally went into my own depression. So I got to meet this young lady and we started talking and socializing all the time. And I was not looking for a girlfriend. I was not interested in nothing,
a relationship,
at all. I went to jail and I got out of jail and I called her. I was getting a ride from a lady who was bringing me from Rock Road. I was in Port St. Lucie. I went to jail for a suspended license. And they gave me like 90 days or something like that. So I did like 75 or something like that. I was like, whatever. And I got out of jail and I went to the job. I got out of jail. I went straight to work. I went to the job site. So I was calling her and talking to her. And she was like, you went to work? I'm like, yeah, like shit, I could bathe over here at the doctor's house. Because we were doing some remediation and some building, some tile and landscaping and all of this stuff at this doctor's house. And I knew, I was guaranteed to have some work. So I got out of jail and went to work. I was trying to get a check. And I started talking to her. And she was like, I prayed for you. You're gonna be more than my vibe. You're gonna be my boyfriend. I was like, yeah. Okay. And I mean, that was the just getting out of jail for me talking. And I was like, I guess so. You know, whatever, you know.
He had no idea.
And
okay.
She told me then, she said the same thing she just said to you guys. She said, I prayed for you. And I realized that in her praying for me, I didn't pray for you, but I ended up praying to keep you. I ended up praying to keep you. So I took a lot of shit. I dished a lot, but I shared a lot. And we together, we cultivated what it is that we are able to show now to people that support us and that love us so genuinely. We warred against each other, with each other, and now for each other.
Absolutely.
When she prayed for me, I prayed to keep her. And then there were times where I prayed for her and she prayed to keep me. And we have somehow, by the grace of God, overcome so many different things, overcome the gossip, overcome the foolishness, overcome the doubt, the shame. Because let me tell you,
there's some of that on there too, baby.
Baby,
Salt
smear.
no, Salt Bae. Don't hit it like that.
Smeared. You understand what I'm saying? Smeared.
You're so awesome.
Because it really and truly was who we were and what we were at that time. You understand what I'm saying? Don't give up, because this relationship shit and marriage is not for the faint at heart. It is not for the weak. It is not for the weak. Excuse me, that's my little brother calling from prison. Okay. And shout out to BG. Free my nigga Nino. Gang.
Free Nino.
You know what I'm saying? And marriage is not for the faint at heart. Okay? But relationships aren't either. Don't start something that you're not willing to finish.
And don't finish something that wasn't worth starting.
Good point. Very good point. We are not your ordinary. We don't want to give you the impression that whatever it is that you have, you know, put everything that you have into that.
Don't take it, shake it, make it, mold it. We're not looking for that.
Know yourself. Know yourself, and most importantly, know your partner, but know your worth.
And so that makes so much more understandable when you understand and know where you are, what you're willing to endure, what lengths you're willing to go to. And I must say, in reference to our title, why don't you like my boo? The people that don't love your boo the way that you love your boo, see things with a much clearer vision. They see things with a much clearer vision, and that oftentimes means that, you know, there's no sex in there, there's no kissing, there's that intimacy that you have with your significant other is not there for those people. And if time doesn't heal that I don't like your boo, that could particularly mean that could be something that you're overlooking.
I have a family member, and I think it's the craziest thing in the world, but she has this idea of her relationship with her now child's father lasting the way that her mother and her father have lasted. And I told her, I said, you fucking stupid. I told her just like that. And she was like, cuz, why would you say that? I said, no, listen to me. I said, first and foremost, you ain't your mama and he ain't your daddy. That's number one. Let's get that clear. Number two, people are not the same and don't share the same moral values to be able to keep something that's significant and soluble going. And number three, you don't know what your father has endured with your mother and you don't know what your mother has endured with your father. And you got to make sure that you are cut out for that.
Yeah.
Because if they told you what it was, you might have a different opinion. You would say to yourself, "Oh, I wouldn't have never did that. I ain't gonna put up with that. I ain't gonna do." But that is what separates the men from the boys. That's what separates the married from the divorced. That's what separates, like, all of those different things. That meme on Facebook where they talking about the old guy and he's describing his marriage like he did his car. It's so much more significant and real. Like you get to understand that, because you're saying, yeah, man, like, this is my investment. I done put all this time into it, and when I got it, it was nothing. You know, could you imagine, right? When God made a woman, he took her and he molded her out of dirt and the clay, right? So when you get a woman and she has the insecurities and she has the hurt, she has the daddy issues, she has all the, you get a lump of something and you see potential in it. And it's oftentimes the same way that women will look at us as men, because he cute, you know, he hung. And they make what they want out of that, you know what I'm saying? But there is potential in it that they see that other people may not see. No one has your eye. No one has your vision.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. It means so much more than what you see at face value.
So you have to mold that. You have to take what it is that you're dealt. If you have a woman or you have a significant other, a partner, and you take that and you mold it into something beautiful. You understand what I'm saying? It's no longer broken. It's no longer busted. It's no longer a mess. But you will also, yes, it is now a beautiful thing. It is a beautiful thing that you've put so much time and effort into creating.
That's your investment now. And now you're not so quick to walk away because you put too much into it.
There you go. And you will get people that will look at it and say, that ain't all that. I seen a better one. Yeah, you know, that old one you had. Now that first one you
I don't want nothing to do with it. Okay. I'll say it this way. I go through this. I don't mean to say I go through this, but I say this a lot to a lot of young ladies who come to me about their relationship things. I will say this. It is extremely important for you to understand that no one is cut and dry. Okay. There's no cookie cutter for a man. There's no cookie cutter for a woman. You are not done. And the man that you get with is not done. The person that you get with is not done. The woman that you get with, the man that you get with, they are not finished. They still have to go through. And if you intend to be with someone, there is a grooming process, a shedding process, a molding process for you to be with that person. One, because you guys didn't come up in the same type of a household, right? You might have come from a 2-parent household and they came from a 1-parent household. You might have been raised by your mom and dad, and they might have been raised by their grandmother. They might, you know, you could have been raised by your aunt and they were raised by just their mom. So there's these different perspectives that have to come together and unite these two people into one. So everybody has to kind of come and put all of their stuff on the table, address all of these issues, address all of these, you gotta address your PTSD. You gotta talk about these things that are behind you, that have molded you and kind of made you what you are at that point, and then allow yourself to be molded into what you will be at a future point. Because you know who you will be 5 years later into that relationship will be a different person from who you will be 10 years into that relationship, and it'll be a different one from who you will be 15 and 20 years, and so on and so forth. So you understand. You have to make sure that it is worth it.
Right. You have to see people evolving. I'm grateful for the changes that I've made, and I'm grateful for the changes that are to come. I'm anticipating them because, like, I'm not the finished product yet, and neither is she. But together we are a force to be reckoned with. despite where we come from.
Period.
Because if even in my wife, as much as I love her enough to let her go. I love her enough to allow her to be who it is that she is, even if it's not the equivalent of who I desire her to be.
Mm-hmm.
And she has, I would hope, that same amount of respect and commitment to me, because you can't force anybody to do anything. When your family sees this or that and they speak on it, yes, oftentimes it can be because of what they know or what they think, but it can also be because of those different warning signs and characteristics that they have seen and seen an illustration of from their own failures. If you talk to someone that's been married more than one time and you ask them, well, how come it didn't work the first time? They'll always tell you what the other person did.
Except for me.
I mean, if I spoke to a lady recently and I was telling her about the YouTube channel. She told me, she says, well, I've been married 5 times, honey. And I said, oh, okay. And I was like, and counting? And she's like, he better make sure he keeps me happy. So at that point, that basically let me know that she doesn't like no for an answer. That also let me know that she is still potentially doing some of the same things that she did in her first marriage, now in her 5th marriage. So if you always do what you always did,
and baby, you gonna always get what you always got.
You will always get what you've always gotten. And I say that because if you're still doing things that you did as an adolescent and you're an adult, you might need to check on that. If you're still doing things in your marriage that you did in failed relationships, then you might want to rethink that. If you're still doing things that consist of what you used to do, that person of old, in failed attempts, failed marriages, or relationships that have dissipated, then you might want to consider that, because you already know what the outcome will be.
Right.
So if they don't like your boo, it's okay for them not to like your boo. But if you like your boo, then you might be willing to reevaluate and change the blueprint and your methodology when it comes to that significant other or spouse. So we thank you guys, man, so much for joining us here again on another wonderful Tuesday.
Yes, you guys, thank you so much for joining us this beautiful Tuesday evening. Hey, listen, I just wanted to take a minute before we stop. Thank you guys so much for the love, the support, the likes, the shares. Listen, it means so much. Just last week we broke 200 subscribers. Thank you guys so much. Giveaways coming soon. We've got some shirts getting ready to come out. You'll be able to grab some of this merchandise. So definitely stay tuned. And if you haven't already, please like, share, and subscribe. You know, when you're talking to your girl about her, stuff, share us. When you're talking to your mom about some stuff, you share us. Talk about us a little bit.
But yeah, we got some merch coming soon. We got some merch coming soon, and we want you guys to continue to follow, support, like, share, subscribe if you haven't subscribed.
Oh,
hit that little bell for the notifications.
Yes, definitely. And please keep your ear to the streets. Valentine's Day is creeping up real quick. 2020 is almost over. Congrats to us. We've got a new president and vice president for 2021. We've got a new term of that. That's gonna be great.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that transition. Get your arms up if your arms ain't up already. Okay. Hope you understood that one.
No doubt.
And definitely stay tuned. We're gonna have a lot of information coming up very soon for the Valentine's Day party. It's gonna be a takeover. So my husband has been giving me like creative freedom of a lot of this stuff. So our theme is going to be Harlem Nights, which is like 1930s. So do your research, come all the way with it.
Which means your boy Vernus Quick Brown will be there. And I don't want to have to shoot nobody in their toe.
I'm just saying, make sure that you're ready. It is a complete formal affair. It is going to be an entire situation.
That's facts.
So get your boo or your potential boo, or don't come with a boo. That's totally okay. You might find a boo while you're there. I'm just saying.
We have postponed the Black Brady's. However, it is still coming. No doubt at all. The Black Brady's will be in your chest like two big breasts shortly. Stay tuned for that. But we have so many different things going on right now. It's very important for us to be consistent and make sure that we are working progressively and not filling our plate with too much. So we are going to continue to do what it is that we do great. We thank you guys for joining us. We love you guys the way that you love us. And we hope to see you guys very soon.
Next week, Tuesday.
Next week.
Same time, same place.
10 o'clock p.m. Twice the Advice. Instagram page. Follow us. YouTube channel. Subscribe to us. Facebook. Like us. If you don't know, now you know. We love y'all.
Get. It's been real, y'all. Good night.
That was great. That was awesome. And man,